Throughout American history, men and women have sacrificed their freedoms to protect the ideals of our Constitution. What they didn't realize was that upon returning home from the battlefield, there were still wars to be waged, invisible wounds yet to be healed. In many ways, the hardest battles they've ever confronted. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a term we've all grown familiar with. What makes its treatment difficult are the countless symptoms that accompany its diagnosis.
It's every day. It's waking up. It's going throughout the day. It's having mood swings. It's saying I'm sorry a lot and then admitting fault. Because sometimes I'm just happy-go-lucky and other times I'm, kind of harsh and rough. And it's very difficult, and I can only imagine, how tiresome it is for family members, for friends. And so I'm very appreciative of the ones that I do have around.
A soldier's heart, battle fatigue, shell shock, the post-Vietnam syndrome. Trauma has been synonymous with war ever since time began. Today we call it PTSD. VA clinics offer traditional therapy that allow veterans an open forum to discuss their problems. They struggle in providing direction. The road to recovery is uncharted, and where the VA leaves off, waits a man. On a little ranch in Elizabeth, Colorado, by the name of John Nash.
Ever since I came back from Vietnam, I knew things weren't right. I wasn't my old self. I was getting like 1 or 2 hours of sleep a night, and nightmares and flashbacks and things like that going on. So I started self-medicating with alcohol real bad, and I went 40 years like that. I used to come home drunked up and on liquor and go right straight to the corral. I'd pass out or go to sleep or something or other, and my horse, Rain, she'd wake me up by nudging me with her nose. It's almost like she was saying, "You're better now, you can go to bed." I started thinking, that horse saved my life. I wonder if there's a way that I could develop a program or something where I could help my comrades, my fellow veterans.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, here comes another one. Look at this. It urges me to look deeper into myself and find more strength to keep going. And as a combat vet, I think it's the greatest thing that is imaginable. I think the VA lacks in. I haven't met one of their therapists that was a vet. Somebody that shared the battlefield with me. It may not be the same battlefield, but a combat vet's a combat vet. He's seen a lot more than I have. And so we have that unsaid trust and admiration and respect.
The VA therapy stabilizes you, but for 14 years I just existed. I still did a lot of staying at home and isolating. I was really worried my life would go back to not leaving the house at all. Then I heard about John out here and the equine therapy, and I thought, what the heck? I got nothing to lose. I'm just marking time. Since I've been out here, I've gone on a trip by myself, which was unheard of. I associate with men. I actually hug some men, which is a huge thing for me. Because before I used to need at least 6 feet between me and a man. And then still I wasn't comfortable. I didn't touch people, people didn't touch me. But that's changed being out here with the horses. Honey and I have a bond that I've had with nobody else. She helped me realize that I had something to offer again in this world. And that was something that was taken away when I got out of the service.
What the equine treatment offers are experiences to counterbalance the effects of traumatic memories from the battlefield.
I started fostering Taxi. He's a year-old, a little cold. Ever since he was born, I was, petting him and sitting with him, and I'd lay down next to him and get closer and closer and earn his trust. And soon enough, Taxi was laying his head in my lap, and we were just kind of laying down in the field together, just chilling. It was really cool. I mean, that's their most vulnerable state, And for him to have the trust in me, and for the herd to have trust in me, is really cool. There's a lot of trust issues that come hand in hand with the PTSD and traumatic brain injury. So the emotional state that you get from it, that you gain from it, is very, I think, invaluable. Something like this, where I can come out here and see myself in the horses. The horses respond to your subconscious cues. They read your body movements. They read how you're holding your head, and how far out your chest is, and how you walk. If I'm on a pissed off day, the horse is going to be kind of pushed away from me. They're going to mirror exactly what I'm feeling. It actually helps me realize it about myself.
We work as partners with the Veterans Administration, the VA hospitals and vet centers and things like that, clinics, because one of the things we have to do, suffering from PTSD, is to face the traumas, to bring them out, face them. That's what the traditional therapy does, and they're really good at it, and they do a wonderful job. In a traditional setting like that, it seems like we come off the bottom, but we hit a ceiling. We're kind of playing off. Words can only take us so far. It was experiences that got us the way we are. Traumatic experiences. I believe it needs to be experiential to move us further down the road to recovery than the VA can do. They're doing the best they can. Don't get me wrong here, but we need to pick up from their ceiling and move them further, and it's happened to every single client we've had here. Because this is why I survived, is to run this program. We try to teach our veterans that come out here to find their purpose. There's a reason they survived that war.
We've got the ball rolling. It's rolling slowly, very slowly. We strictly rely on donations from anybody, any corporation, whatever, that would help us out here. And as you know, with the economy the way it is right now and everything and that, we're struggling. We're having a tough time. But when you see the paybacks that we get out of the clients that are here, it just lets you know that this is the right thing to do. On this 75 acres, we've got big hopes. We've got big dreams. And we need help. We need a lot of help.
With attention focused on the future, the Combat Veterans Cowboy Up program is planning to erect a 50,000 square foot facility. A total of 24 new stables that could house anywhere between 50 and 70 horses, with the intentions of servicing 100 clients a day. On-site housing will be made available to the veterans visiting from afar, and they are calling from every corner of the country. John Nash and his contemporaries hope to meet that demand, and through their passionate support and word of mouth, that future seems feasible.